Thanks for joining me today at InvestorIdeas.com Cleantech and Climate Change podcast, looking at today's problems and solutions for the future. I'm your host, Dawn Van Zandt, founder of InvestorIdeas.com, and hoping to share our way of making a difference in climate change. Good morning and welcome to today's edition of the Cleantech and Climate Change podcast at InvestorIdeas.com. Today I'm talking to Mr. Michael Moe, CEO of KULR Technology Group, Inc., trading on the NYSE KULR, discussing the company's thermal management and battery safety technologies. Michael talks about the company's history and the numerous applications, including aerospace, electronics, energy storage, 5G infrastructure, electric vehicle manufacturers, and their recent entry into the metaverse. He shares their unique position and their IP to address battery issues of today and the future. Well, thank you for joining us today, Michael. To begin, can you explain your thermal management and battery safety technologies and how they work, and a brief history of how you arrived at today's status?
Thank you for having us here. So just a brief history about KULR. We come from over 30 years heritage in developing carbon fiber thermal management technology for aerospace and defense applications. Our products have been trusted by NYSE. It's used on the Mars rover 2020 Perseverance rover. It's used on the International Space Station to keep the astronauts' laptop batteries safe, and also numerous different aerospace and defense applications. Our mission now is to take these space-proven technologies and apply to the world of lithium-ion batteries and electronics to keep them cooler, lighter, and safer. So we're utilizing these space-proven technology now, and together with our engineering expertise, to build really a total solution platform to address the critical challenges of the electrification circular economy, namely battery safety and thermal management. So as you may know, lithium-ion batteries can explode and catch fire when they are damaged or overheated. You've probably seen, or your audience have seen, Tesla cars on fire. GM, Hyundai, and other OEMs have recalled their EVs, costing the industry billions of dollars. So now we're bringing the space-proven technology to these markets and energy storage. So that's kind of a technology aspect of it. On the capital market side, for users, KULR has been listed on the New York Stock Exchange since June 2021. So just a little bit over a year ago. Since then, we've attracted institutional shareholders such as Vanguard, Fidelity, Citigroup, and State Street as our shareholders. Vanguard is actually one of our largest institutional shareholder with about 3%. And then happy to report that we've just been added to the Russell Microcap Index for 2022. So super excited about that. I'm personally very, very excited about the technology because I've been in the technology industry for over 25 years in semiconductor software businesses, but I've never seen a technology that can apply to really so many different growth areas, like the energy storage, EV, battery transportation, AR, VR, metaverse, and cloud computing. So this is really an exciting time and place for us to contribute all this. I would just add one more thing is that I don't know if you saw this, the new ranking for the most valuable car companies just came out. And Tesla is obviously number one. Number two is Toyota. And number three is a company out of China called BYD. The co-founder of BYD is our long-term investor and shareholder. And not only they are one of the largest battery makers in the world, but also number three most valuable car company. That's just incredible. It just goes to show you that if you're betting on the right side of technology growth curve and stay true to your core value, you can create some incredible value creation for your shareholders. And so we believe that we're betting on the cutting edge of the electrification circular economy, and we're very honored to be included in these, the New York Stock Exchange and the Microcap Index. And then we're just at the very beginning of our journey.
And talking about all the different applications, can you give us an idea of where you're gaining your most traction in some of these industries?
Yeah, well, cover a lot of different areas. So on the aerospace and defense side, we're working with NASA on their battery going back to the moon, which is the Artemis program. That's going back to the moon by 2024 with a female astronaut and a person of color. So we're processing battery cells for them. And also on the DoD side, we work with Lockheed Martin on their energy programs. So those are very exciting programs for us. But we're also very excited about the global lithium ion, battery market for energy storage, which is scheduled to hit $100 billion by 2024. We believe that battery safety is a critical aspect of that. Lithium-ion battery recycling will grow to about $21 billion by 2030. And transportation safety is an essential, part of that. On that battery recycling side, we are partnered with Retrieve Technologies and Battery Solutions, which are the largest lithium-ion battery recyclers in the US, and they're utilizing our safe case technology to enable them and their customers to do very, very sustainable and efficient battery recycling. On the energy storage side, our technology is enabling our customers to pass battery safety certification for enterprise and residential energy storage. And we've also enabled our customer to be the first and only solution to pass the EU's electric plane battery safety certification. And so now you can see that we're truly bringing, NASA-proven technologies into all these applications. Most recently, we talked about we're working with a metaverse, application with one of the largest OEMs in the world. The application is using our carbon fiber material to pick up electrical signals from a user as input to interface with the metaverse traverse in it. And this just creates another dimension for user to interface with the virtual reality and augmented reality. And we see big growth potential on that into 2023 and beyond.
And looking at the industry as a whole, as you said, there's a lot of headlines about batteries overheating and catching on fire. So when you look at the industry as a whole and in the current state of energy storage safety, how would you see your company play a role in this today and into the future?
We really believe, and I think the industry is really waking up to the fact that thermal management safety is a critical component for the sustainable circular economy in our transition from fossil fuel to electrification. Without safety and reliability, part of that circular loop kind of breaks down. So to address these safety challenges, you really need a holistic approach to this problem, because it's not just a chemistry problem. It's not just a physics problem or a software problem or hardware problem. It's actually all these problems combined over a long period of time, just the time of the operation of the battery. And it really becomes a combustible catastrophe when something goes wrong. And then so, we believe that we're the only solutions provider in this market that provide this holistic approach, a cradle to grave type approach, by testing and screening the cells when they're produced, to providing the battery pack and the testing capabilities to make them fully safe, and monitor the battery pack operation in real time with AI-powered cell check, and then handle the battery in their second life and end of life applications with our battery transportation safe case solution. So it's really the kind of the cradle to grave approach. We believe it's the best to serve this entire, sustainable circular economy. Another very important trend that's emerging is that the world is running out of batteries. That's like a pretty doomsday scenario, but this is something that Department of Energy has put out studies on based on the forecast of automotive OEMs and the battery supply chain. So by 2025 and also up to 2030, the automotive OEMs will only be able to access about 50% of the batteries that they need to meet their EV ambitions. By 2030, the industry is forecast to build 40 million EVs, but there's only enough supply to be forecasted to build 16 million EVs. So that'll leave the industry and the electrification industry, really scrambling for batteries. So what we're doing about it is we're working to secure battery cell capacity from tier one battery cell manufacturers over the next few years, so that we can apply our suite of products and tools on top of those battery cells, and to make the highest quality product possible and to serve our customers.
And can you talk about your intellectual property portfolio? Because I looked at your website, it's fairly extensive, and how that both positions you and protects you in the industry.
Yeah, well, we've been, kind of engineering by heart really trying to focus on solving a problem. So we have a strong and growing patent portfolio covering on the energy storage side, battery transportation products. We have 10 patents granted and many more pending in the pipeline. On the energy storage side, on the battery side, with patents covering from the design, testing to the product configuration of the battery pack. On the battery transportation side, which are safe case product, we have multiple patents pending on that. Is some of which we just got notified is going through the final review by examiners right now. So we feel very, very good about our patent coverage around that. In addition to the patents, we have a wealth of proprietary processes, know-hows, and trade secrets that we built up over the years. It's really the combination of patents, know-hows, and how we get to government permits, such as the Department of Transportation special permits that we got for recycle batteries, prototype batteries, DDR batteries, and in combination of that with the regulatory certifications such as the UL certification, FAA certification, that creates a stickiness in the mold for our technology in the marketplace and also with our customers. So by the way, we've been investing a lot in working with regulators, standard bodies over the years, by actively participating in discussions, conferences, and subcommittees. So as an example, November of this year, KULR will be hosting the UN G27 lithium-ion battery package committee summit in San Diego. So we'll be hosting, regulators and stakeholders from around the world to come to San Diego and share their ideas, communicate, and really start setting the roadmap going forward. And we welcome anybody who's interested to join us in San Diego. And November in San Diego is not a bad place to be.
And one of the topics you discussed in your recent first quarter earnings call, you just briefly mentioned earlier, was how you're taking active steps to reduce supply chain and logistical risks going forward, and actually how that can really impact your top line revenue potential moving forward. Can you dive a little deeper into that as far as what you're doing and how you see that plays a role in your future?
Yeah, so this is very important. I said earlier, the DOE put out a report saying, we're running out of batteries and materials by 2030. The auto OEMs will only be able to fulfill about 40% of their the EV forecast with the existing battery supply chain. So we're taking active steps now to get the batteries. We're talking about 500 megawatt hours and potentially much more than that. That translates to enough power for about 40,000 homes in the current kind of a Tesla Powerwall configuration, or roughly around 40 million battery cells for the applications that we serve. And that type of capacity would translate into around $350 million in revenue over the next few years. We see tremendous hockey stick growth for KULR to take place when these battery cell applications starting to take shape. In addition, this is just the energy storage side of our business. When you combine that with our battery recycling programs in the aerospace and defense, in the metaverse, and the 5G and cloud computing thermal products that we're introducing to the market, that's why, Don, we're really, really excited about our future growth.
And just in summary, in closing, can you just talk to our listeners about your biggest challenges and your biggest opportunities moving forward?
We've been working very hard to make KULR the number one provider of battery thermal management and safety solution platform in the industry over the next couple of years. We believe this opens up to multiple billion-dollar market opportunities because the problem is going to get more complex. This is a challenge that's going to face the entire industry. And more and more customers would demand a total solution for these problems. And our challenges specifically, we've been addressing that by investing very heavily in our infrastructure and also our people. We've grown our team almost 5x over the last 18 months, and we're putting manufacturing supply chain infrastructure in place in North America to reduce our risks, potential risks due to geopolitical and other factors. So all these are steps that we're taking. And on top of that, by securing large number of battery supplies to apply our technology on, we believe that we'll be in the very well positioned to our customers and experience tremendous top growth in the next few years. as we discussed earlier, we'll be executing towards this, $350 million revenue capacity. And just looking at the industry, where we're going in general, another important factor that I like to have your investors keep in mind is that as the business cycle, this electrification circular economy grow from earlier stage, which is, I believe it's where we are right now, to an accelerated adoption, over the next 5 to 10 years, the industry will experience tremendous growth and waves of consolidation. We believe that KULR is going to be very well positioned to participate in this exponential growth because we have some of the best technologies around and that we've secured the resources to grow that. And we believe that generate the greatest shareholder value creation during this phase of exponential growth and consolidation.
Well, that sounds very exciting, and congratulations on what you've done so far. And I look forward to a follow-up in the future as all of this rolls out.
Great. Thank you so much for your time today.
That's it for today. Do something great for this beautiful planet each and every day. To hear more Clean Tech podcasts, visit the Cleantech and Climate Change page on Investor Ideas. You can find it on our top template. Also, Investor Ideas has a lineup of other podcasts and themes, including the AII, the Crypto Corner, our cannabis podcast called Cannabis News and Stocks on the Move, rated one of the top investor podcasts in the sector, Play by Play, a podcast looking at sports and esports news, and Exploring Mining. To listen to any of our podcasts, visit our podcast page on Investor Ideas at investorideas.com/audio. And a reminder, you can hear our podcasts on Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, and most audio platforms available to you. If you like any of our podcasts, we would appreciate you recommending them or reviewing them on your audio platform. And to help you follow and track clean tech and renewable energy stocks, Investor Ideas has created a directory of publicly traded stocks in the sector. You can find that by going to our homepage, looking on the sidebar and looking at renewable energy and environmental themes, and you'll find our stock directories there. Investor Ideas does remind all of investors to read our disclaimers and disclosures on our site. You can find them at investorideas.com/about-disclaimer.asp. It is important to read these. And this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded that all investment involves risk and a possible loss of investment. Thank you again and have a great day. For disclosure purposes, KULR Technology is a paid-for featured monthly clean tech and tech stock on investorideas.com.